This is what I call a stretch lick, and it's designed to have you break out of vertical playing. You might, use the cage shapes when you're thinking scales, or the 3-note per string scale shapes. It doesn't matter. This little stretch lick here is actually a path through multiple shapes. And what you do when you practice it, that you not only practice the little cool sequence here, you also make sure that you know exactly what shape you're in when it comes to the shapes you already know. So in the first position, I know where I'm at. I know you can see all the notes from the shape you know across the strings. And then once you move to the next position, you orient yourself. And as you practice, look at the shapes, visualize them on the fretboard. If you do that, then this whole path here, and you can download the charts for this path and the tabs if you click the link below the video. If you do that as you practice it over and over again, you just look at the shapes, you visualize them on the fretboard as little dots, right? As you play this, you'll find that when you are becoming good at this lick, you will not only have learned a cool sequence, you will also have a path through your vertical shapes that allows you to just go across them all. And that's a huge step. So please have fun with it. This is 1 out of 11 stretch licks that I created as a bonus for my new program, which is a much bigger program about how to get 10 times the results out of practicing. So you might want to go check that out as well. Until we meet again, have fun with this stretch lick. We're in the key of E minor, and you have your first position E minor pentatonic shape up here in the 12th fret. But what I'm basically doing is playing 3 octaves of the same pattern, and then I have a little ending in the end here, naturally in the end. So I begin in the 15th fret, first position minor pentatonic shape, 15th fret. You hit that first note on the high E string with an upstroke, pull off down to 12, and then you hit the 15th fret on the B string with a downstroke and go right back to the 12th fret, and then right back to the 15th fret again, and then you pull off down to 12. That's what happens in this position. So slowly, upstroke, pull off down to 12, downstroke, 15th B string, upstroke, 12th E string, downstroke, 15th B string, and pull off down to 12. Now I slide down to the 10th fret, and that's how I produce the next note. Right down there. And the faster you slide, the better it is. And the more accurate you are with positioning your finger just behind the fret here. Right? Now I hit the 12th fret with my 3rd finger on the high E string with an upstroke, downstroke in the 12th fret on the B string, 2nd finger, so you have that same fret, 2 different fingers. And then I hit the 10th fret on the E string, right? And then I go right down to a downstroke in the 12th fret on the B string, and I pull off down to 10th. So from I get head down here, I slide down, I get slide, so what happens when you go down to that next position is that you slide down, right? So yeah, Feels nice to play in your hands once you get it up to speed. Then what I do from there, because this is basically 2 little sequences or just one sequence that I can repeat. You know, I can repeat the first thing here before I slide down and just say, right? And I can keep on doing that, and I can do the over and over again. So we can change the way we play these. We can play the first one, right? We can pull it upside down. But let's play the sequence totally systematically down through the 3 octaves. So we have the same configuration of notes, only we have them on the 2 middle strings instead of the 2 high strings here. So on the G string, the first position down here, you have the 9th fret on both strings and then the 12th fret instead of the 12th and the 15th up on the B and E. So I do the same thing. Pick the 12th fret, and again I use my 3rd finger for that note. 12th fret with an upstroke, pull off down to 9th. Then hit the 12th fret on the D string with the downstroke. Then upstroke in the 9th fret. And then downstroke again in the 12th fret D string. And then pull off. So I go, right? Then I slide down again to the 7th fret, and here I play my little pattern of, right? So slide down, hit the 9th fret with your 3rd finger on the G string, yeah? And then 2nd finger in the same fret, but on the D string. And with a downstroke, and then an upstroke in the 7th fret on the G string, and then 3rd finger 9th fret, and then pull off down to 7th. So, right. So now we have, right, right, and then we have the same. Again, the same group of notes, only 1 octave lower. So we have the 7th fret on both the low E and the A string, 7th and 10th, like this. And then the 2nd position down here is 5 and 7 on both the low E and A string. So let's play the same thing down here. Right? And we can do that with the 4th finger if you want to. I have a tendency to do that once I get down here. But you could also, so whatever feels the most natural to you. When I get down here, I tend to use my 4th finger for this particular thing here. But, so, 4th or 3rd finger in the 10th fret on the A string, pull off down to 7th, then hit the 10th fret with a downstroke, then again an upstroke in the 7th fret on the A string, and then right back to the low E string again in the 10th fret, and then pull off down to 7th, which gives us that same pattern. Slide down to 5th, hit the 7th fret with your 3rd finger on the A string, 7th fret again, but now on a low E string with the 2nd finger, and then the 1st finger in the 5th fret on the A string, and then 7, 3rd, pull off down to 5th. Right, so. Then I slide down to the 3rd fret, the ending here, and then I pull off down to the open E string. And you should practice this with the metronome in the beginning, of course, and especially these things because because your hand has to play a note right now, right? It has a that move there has to be in time. Right? And so when you put it all together, you get right? And as I said, you can play. We have 2 different sequences here that we can loop in the same place, but you can play the 2nd sequence on the first 4 notes here. So you can go. right? 15, 15, 12, 15, and pull off, right? And then you can slide down to the 10th and then do the first sequence, right? So first, which makes it really nicely moldable little lick here. And you can do the same sequence. Right? And so on, right? Or you can do the first. Oh, see if I can do that. So there's a lot of options here. You can use the same sequence all over again. And if you do that enough, and you go back and forth and use them all and try to combine them all, have one sequence all the way down, have two sequences and switch the sequence upside down, then at some point you develop the ability to improvise through that, through your... Right? Back and forth like that. So this is a very nice lick.